What's up YouTube, Biz Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you all the best contracts I use in my wholesaling business. The only contracts I use to close wholesale deals or to close real estate deals that I find off market. These contracts that I use are very simple and easy to use. The purchase and sales agreement that I use between me and the seller is just a one-page document. The assignment on contract that I use between me and the cash buyer is another one-page simple document. I'm going to share my computer screen with you all. We're going to go over the different clauses I have in my contracts, why I have them here. The other thing I want to state is that please be sure to look up your county's, your state's laws and regulation surrounding real estate transactions, what you need to put in your agreements, because this is specific to my area, my county, my cities that I wholesale real estate in, and so yours may be different. I know more and more states and cities now have more regulation around wholesaling, and so now some agreements have to have certain clauses in their documents letting the seller know that, hey, I'm going to wholesale your property, or hey, this is a strong possibility that I'm going to wholesale your property. It's not only good enough to say it verbally, but you also have to put it in your contract. So please be sure to talk to your title company, talk to other wholesalers in your area to know what to put in your contract. If you all have any questions about what I have in my contract or things are just not exactly clear, let me know down below in the comments. All right, so let's head right into the computer. All right, so before I show you all the contracts, please be sure to check the links down below in this video and all my videos. I have links of the contracts that I use. If you go down below in the description on like a desktop version, you can look at it on your mobile phone too. The fourth link, wholesale real estate. No, not the fourth link, the second to last link. I think this is the sixth link. It says wholesaling contracts, bizmatthew.com. If you click right here, takes you to my website where you just put in your name, your email address, and then you get to just fill out your information and download a PDF version of the contract and a Word document version so you can edit it, right? And I also have a wholesale course if you all are interested in that. I am going to run a special discount code down below. So you all can get $100 off of this course for a limited time. I'll put the link and the code down below, and I'll put it in the comments, and we'll just put this code as contract because we're talking about contracts. So if you want $100 off to get my wholesale course for $197, please be sure to use that code. So let's head right into the purchase and sales agreement. So this is the purchase and sales agreement that I use. So this is between you and the seller, right? You're hunting for deals. You find a seller who's interested in buying your property. Now what you're going to do, you're going to put them under contract and you're going to market this contract over to your cash buyers. So right here, you just put in your date, you put the seller name. The seller is the person who owns the property, and you're going to put your name as the buyer. Yes, you're going to have another end buyer, but in the meantime, on the purchase and sales agreement, you have to put your name or your LLC. And then right here, I usually put the county information. So here I would put Hamilton County, Tennessee, right? And then you have the street address, the city, the state, the zip. Now, legal description is just the legal, it's like sort of like, where exactly is this property laid in our layout, in our zoning, in our maps of everything, right? And what can we read from this legal description of the type of property this is? So I think that's what it is, and that's what I'm guessing, but you can find this on your property assessor's website. So if you look up your counties, just Google search, let's say your county is Cook County. So just put Cook County, Illinois property assessor's website or property finder, and then you could put in that, find the property, and they usually have the legal description that you could put in here. If you don't have access to that, that's totally fine. You can ignore it for right now. Usually your title company will put it in for you, your closing agent, so your closing attorney, so that's fine. Right here you have the price. And so price I usually just like to put in bold, right? I like to just, let's say the house is being sold for 50,000. So I just put 50,000 right here. If I'm typing it out, right? And I'm actually going to just send it through like DocuSign or something, I'll type it out and I'll put it like that so everyone knows this is the price that we agreed upon and other things like that. All right. So from here, you look at payment. Payment will pay the purchase price in cash. This is a cash purchase. That's the whole point of wholesaling. The seller will not accept any financing contingency. Title and conveyance. So seller will transfer marketable title to property by warranty deed. Seller will clear all liens from title with the exception of unpaid taxes. So essentially what this is saying that the seller is responsible for any mortgages, any liens on the property, right? And with the exception of unpaid taxes, usually unpaid property taxes are still applied to them, right? Because if you buy a property in the middle of the year, you have to be responsible for the rest of the year, and they're responsible for the beginning of the year. So that's nothing to worry about. I never had an issue with them or that part because, because essentially, since you're paying all closing costs, I think, the taxes are prorated and stuff. Buyer will pay any escrow fee and other things like that. Seller will pay any liens or judgments. This will be closed by a notary or title or attorney company. You have the closing date on it before. Now I'm putting like 45 days out. I used to do 30 days. That still can be an option. Honestly, you can still close in 30 days because I bought a property using conventional loan and I closed in like 45 days, which is pretty fast to me. I could have closed in 30 days if the seller didn't forget the closing date, but it is what it is. So yeah, boom. Cancellation. Buyer retains the right to terminate this contract. Terminate this agreement. Buyer may cancel only by delivering written notice or oral notice of cancellation to seller. So you can just call them up and say, hey, I this or that. Let's say something happens. Hopefully you never have to cancel a contract, but every investor goes through this. Honestly, you just want to reduce the amount of cancellation, especially as a beginner. It can be hard. Let's say you just got your numbers wrong and you just can't find a buyer. It's difficult, right? I would say don't over promise to the seller, especially in your beginning stages. Let them be transparent as you can be, brutally honest, right? About what you're doing, how you need another investor, how you need another buyer for this property. The other thing is looking at these clauses, you can always make adjustment. Let's say the seller wants this right to cancel for any moment. If you're willing to work with the seller, you can put, okay, and seller has the right to terminate this agreement for any reason, right? If you all communicate that. Disclosure, just each person represents themselves. Assignment, this is essentially, I just have a full assignment clause, right? A lot of times people just have and or assigns, right? On like buyer, like somewhere up here, right? Like it will say my name and then in parentheses, it says and or assigns, right? But I just want to make it clear that I have the unqualified right to assign its rights to this whole agreement to someone else, to another company. I say that this is a binding agreement, deadline for acceptance. I usually don't put anything here, but sometimes if I'm doing it through DocuSign, I have a deadline for acceptance and other things like that. If not, I still continue working with the seller if it's a smoking hot deal. If it's a good deal, honestly. What else I wanted to mention? So this agreement, this is actually, I didn't make up this agreement, right? I got this agreement by just Google searching wholesale real estate contracts. I think it was like the wholesale toolbox I got it from. And I think I added a few things, but not much. But shout out to them if you're looking for a good purchase and sales agreement. Another thing is assignment of contract. So assignment of contract agreement is between you and the cash buyer. Once you have this signed, now you're looking for a buyer. hopefully you already have buyers in place. You're the assigner. Assign this rights, title, and interest in purchase is great. Data, blah, blah, to blah, blah. So the assignee is the cash buyer to purchase real estate, and you put the address. Put the date here. Okay, so essentially you put your name here or your company here because you're the assigner. Right here, you put the date. Right here, you put the assignee, which is the cash buyer, name or company right here. And then you put the property address right here. Purchase contract is being assigned for the amount of $10,000. Let's say you have a property under contract, 100 grand, you're selling it for 110 grand. So your assignment amount is 10,000. Boom. Buyer should close on or before this day. Boom. Earnest money deposit. You need this. I highly recommend so you can lock in your buyers. Boom. Closing are an assignment contract with the seller to the buyer and are held at Blase Title Company. So this is where you put the title company or with your closing attorney office. Wholesaler, assigner, buyer, assigner, CAT, they sign, DocuSign, whatever, boom. If you all have any questions, you all can edit it to your own version. Remember, go to my website, check the link down below. It's the 6th link, wholesaling contracts. Put in your information, download it, and make sure you use the $100 off wholesale course. So the code will be contract. All right, contract. Okay. And it'll probably be there. I'll just put the link, and then the link will go straight to the discounted rate for $197 on the course. All right, you all. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know if you have any other questions. Talk to you all later.